or visiting Rotarians tonight? Lisa, can you help me if there are guests, because the camera's just kind of panning in circles right now?
There are guests.
Okay. Is anyone going to introduce them?
Oh, sorry. So ask one question of I don't know. What's your favorite Easter candy? So our first guest is Ryan. Ryan, tell us where you're from and what's your favorite Easter candy?
You're not saying like go up there.
No, just say right there. You're good.
I was wondering that. I'm like, am I being called out?
No.
All right. Sorry, what was the question?
Where you're from and your favorite Easter candy?
I'm from Mankato, Minnesota, and my favorite Easter candy would be Snickers.
All right. Thanks, Ryan, for joining us. This is your third visit after very randomly meeting everyone at the bodega. So welcome again.
Thank you.
The next person is Brian. Brian, where are you from and what's your favorite Easter candy?
I'm from the area, from Wisconsin on the last 10 years. I would have to go with anything chocolate.
We have Gloria Doyle.
Hi, I'm pretty much from this area, and my favorite Easter candy is probably jelly beans.
And Gloria is from the Downtown Club. And the next is Kelly.
I'm Kelly. I'm from Alaska, and she's so my answer. Jelly beans.
Thanks, Kelly, for joining us and turning in your application. So,
Does
all right.
Sawyer have a favorite Easter?
Oh yeah, we have a new guest. Well, I guess he's a member.
This is Sawyer Lee. He can't stand on his own, and he can't have Easter candy. He's 7 weeks old tomorrow, and I was told this is a membership recruitment event, so we're starting me out.
Thank you, everyone.
That's it, Josh.
Okay, excellent. So thank you for the introductions, Amy, appreciate it. And then we have Brian and Mandy joining us, as well as Kelly joining us virtually here tonight. So welcome. Next, we'll jump over to birthdays. So a very happy birthday to Kristen Swartz on March 10th, Lori Francis on March 20th, and Colin Lucas on March 31st. And then our club birthday is on March 2nd. So happy 11th birthday to Rotary After Hours. And as we jump into that, we've got a whole bunch of Rotary anniversaries for a number of our charter members: Ryan Bourne, Johnny Brevick, Lori Francis, Justin Garvey, Brady Lowe, Aaron Miller, Danny Rathke, Shane Sturr, Ben Addington. Marissa's been here for 6 years. Dustin's been here for 6 years, and Brianna's been with us for 3 years. So, happy anniversary to everyone on the list, and for those who were able to make it tonight. So we're so glad you stuck with us for so long. So next up. Announcements tonight. If you are making announcements, please come up to the owl so we can hear and get you better recorded, and just help the communication tonight. So we'll jump to the next SULA's recap. So if Morgan or anybody from membership is in, Phil, if anybody wants to talk about the SULA's dinner, I've heard wonderful things, saw the great pictures. It looked like a stellar event.
Close enough?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, we had obviously our cultural dinner to kind of kick off membership month or membership March on Sunday. So thank you to all that came. Hopefully everyone did have a good time. Lots of delicious food to be had, and we had quite a few visitors and joiners and everything too. So that's pretty much all from that. I believe I think I showed like everyone, but from the plates I did get a casualty. So he was right. Do at your own risk.
Thank you, Morgan, and thank you for the membership committee for putting that event together. Again, heard really good things, so glad everything went well. Next up, Ashley, if you are present, could you speak a little bit about your experience this last weekend at President-elect Training Seminar down in Chicago?
Sure.
So I went to Pets this weekend, which will hopefully prepare me for next year. It was really great. I got to meet other presidents or incoming presidents from this area, our district governor, Ben Bauer, who I think will be really great, as well as other Rotarians from, I think it was Illinois, Wisconsin, some of Michigan, and some of Iowa. So it was, I think there was about 250 people, but it was really great. We got to hear our first female Rotary International president speak. She was on via Zoom and answered questions and stuff, so that was really neat. And then some of you might remember Razia. We provided funds for a bus for her girls' school in Afghanistan. She was there as well, and she actually was heading to Afghanistan yesterday. So hopefully she stays safe. I know the Taliban had been through their school, but had actually thanked her for providing education to the girls. So that's all, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you, Ashley. Appreciate it. And, it's a great experience to go to president-elect training. And thank you again, Ashley, for stepping up to serve as our upcoming president. We're looking forward to it. Thank you to our mobile meals volunteers. So from the picture on the slide, we got the Battle of the Beards. So Aaron, James, thank you for representing for our bearded folk here. You guys are looking real sharp. We're still looking for youth exchange host families. Great experience, even if you're a new member of the club. Let us know if you have questions. Ashley, Lisa, there's a number of folks in the club that can answer questions about that. It really is kind of a experience you can change a student's life and make lifelong connections around the world. Is Eileen in the house for a Rotary Works update?
She is.
Heck yes, I am.
All right, let's hear it.
Is this too close? I don't know what's going on. All right, so previously we had talked about how Rotary Works Foundation was going to host a golf outing, but due to a lack of interest, they just decided to cancel it for this year, and then they'll revisit it for next year and see if people are interested. The other thing is we are still looking for to hire an administrative position for Rotary Works Foundation. That's like sending out the emails, taking notes, setting up the Zoom calls, as well as doing some of the QuickBooks stuff for the Rotary Works Foundation. So if anybody's interested, please email me or get a hold of me. I believe it is paid, if I remember correctly, and it is part-time. I think it's like 15 hours at most a week. It seems pretty laid back from what I understand. Steph, do you have anything else you want to add?
They would prefer someone with an accounting background, right?
Yes.
But it's not required.
Yeah. So preferred to have an accounting background, but not required.
They kind of prefer that you don't be Rotary,
Yes.
to have like kind of the lack of bias.
Yes. So and just to reiterate, just for lack of to be non-biased, they would prefer someone outside of Rotary. So if you know anybody who would be interested in putting in a little time, I mean, you can be part of Rotary, but anyway. So if anyone's interested, give me a shout. Thank you.
Thank you, Eileen. Appreciate the update. TriCon is coming up. I believe we spoke a little bit about TriCon in the past, but it's the 3 Rotary District Conference for Eastern Wisconsin, Western Wisconsin, and then Northern Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. They're going to be meeting in Elkhart Lake. I know Bill, Marissa, Ashley, and Sierra are going at this point, so we've got a little bit of a group going. I unfortunately will not be able to make it. It's a little bit far to drive, but it should be a great time. So if you have the opportunity and the interest in learning more about Rotary or just networking within the Rotary world, please reach out to one of those folks I listed and they'd be happy to share more about what's going on. So any questions on those slides, on those pieces? Otherwise, we'll move to Shark Tank. All right, so Shark Tank is coming up fast. I know we've got two people that have reached out with potential projects, and Sierra has also offered, if folks are looking for projects, she's happy to help make connections in the community as well. So she's got a couple things potential, but she's working on one primarily. So if you're interested, please reach out to her. But overall, we're excited for Shark Tank, but it is coming fast. So if you have proposals or ideas, please let myself, Liz, or Sierra know, and we're happy to correspond with you. So if there's any questions, let me know. Otherwise, we'll keep on trucking. Pints for Polio is coming up. We'll be doing that March 31st at Turtle Stag Brewery. It'll be $20 a person for those who haven't gone in the past. We have four tasters and a pint of different types of beers. It's been done in the past by a member of our club who has a lot of knowledge of beer, so you kind of learn a little bit. And it's also a fundraiser to end polio, which is an excellent cause, especially with everything going on in our world. It's really reinforced the importance of vaccinations, but it's also taken a lot of focus away from polio. So there's a lot of concern about being able to kind of keep our, not only move progress forward, but to keep what we have today. So again, always a great time, highly encouraged. Also invite people from outside. It doesn't have to just be a Rotary event. It's a great thing to invite people to and tell them a little bit more about Rotary. So any questions on that, please let us know. But if not, we'll jump into our main event.
Wait, hold on, Josh, we have a question.
What time is that at? 6?
So show up at 6 and it might be good. Okay, we're good, Josh.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. I couldn't catch a lot of what was said. So tonight's programs are our vocationals. We've got Ashley, we've got Neil, and we have Steph Doyle. So without further ado, let's get started. President-elect Ashley, you're up.
All right. So as you probably know, I'm Ashley Sandsland. I will be a president next year. So I somehow escaped doing this for like almost 7 years. But anyways, all right. Do you need to do it? Oh, okay. All right. So those are some baby pictures. I was born in La Crosse in August 1989. We lived here for about 10 years and then moved to Flagstaff, Arizona for 2 years before moving back to Wisconsin. I went to Monroe for 4 years, which is southern Wisconsin and right on the Illinois border, before moving to Eau Claire, which is where I graduated from high school. Before coming back to La Crosse to go to UWL. And I've been here ever since. My family, I have one younger brother. He is 2 years younger than me, named Mark. Obviously, my parents just relocated to Cumberland, Wisconsin last month. So they were in Eau Claire. My brother lives in Chicago and he married his wife, Emily, about 4 years ago. And they have just had a little girl named Luciana, or Lucy, in October. So she's just about 5 months old. So those are some pictures of her. I think she's the best. I didn't realize how exciting it was to be an aunt until I became one. But she's very cute. I wish they lived closer. One other big life update. I started dating Andrew about a year ago, or year and a half ago. He has 3 kids. They're 6, 8, and 10. And it's been really fun getting to know them over the last year. We traveled to Sedona, Arizona last year together, and they are very fun, make life very exciting. It's too exciting, but they're really great. I almost put these first. These are my little babies. Jordy, I've had for 7 years. He's a mini golden doodle. He is the love of my life. And then Chloe is my COVID dog. Her family moved to New Zealand unexpectedly when she was still a puppy, and they needed a home. I didn't need a second dog. I was good with one, and I have 2 dogs now. So she is very feisty and definitely beats up her brother. So I do enjoy traveling. I usually travel with my family, it seems. We went to Austria, Germany, and Hungary a few years ago on a river cruise. We've been to Italy, we go to Sedona, Arizona pretty frequently. We went to the Olympics when it was in Salt Lake City. At the time we had lived in Arizona. I enjoy skiing, playing tennis, hanging out with friends, family, playing with my dogs. This is just a little bit about education. So my first 2 years of high school, I went to Monroe High School. Halfway through, my parents made me very upset when they decided to move to Eau Claire. So I ended my high school years in Eau Claire at Regis. Came back here, like I said, to go to UWL. Spent 5 years there because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Ended up majoring in professional and organizational communication with a business minor. And then in 2019, I went and got my MBA at the Turbo and graduated just over a year ago. For work, so I started out, I guess, my career at Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Seven Rivers region here in La Crosse. I did some match support stuff, so working with the matches, as well as their fundraising, marketing, pretty much anything. When you work for a small nonprofit, you learn a lot very quickly and figure it out very quickly on your own. So that was a really great job. I know Big Brothers Big Sisters has come to Farm Present. It is an organization that is still near and dear to my heart. They do some really great work and change kids' lives. 5 years ago this month, I started at Mayo Clinic Health System here in La Crosse in community engagement. So I work with the community kind of as a partner between the hospital and the community. We do sponsorships, partnerships, community education, all sorts. So Rotary why? So I had been told to join Rotary for years before I actually did it. At the time, I was working for Big Brothers Big Sisters. I had meetings on Tuesday evenings, and I was like, "Oh, it's just not going to work." Finally, was kind of talked into coming to Rotary and checking it out. I attended Mandy's last meeting as president, and I decided to join, and I'm really glad I did. I've made lifelong friendships. See there's one of our youth exchange students. I'm part of the youth exchange or the youth committee, so we help with youth exchange as well as interact and stuff like that. So that has been really fun to do. I've helped with the ugly sweater for the last couple of years, and I really enjoy it. One thing I liked about Big Brothers Big Sisters was fundraising, believe it or not. So I really enjoy that I can still do it here for a club. And then I, like I said, made a lot of friendships, giving back to the community. Oh, and I should add that my job, I actually got my job through Rotary. The girl that was in my job was moving away. I said, let me know when the job's posted, and then I applied and got it. So it also has helped my career.
Like to say, Ashley, she's been more than helpful. The entire meeting.
Yeah, I enjoy it, and I really do have a great committee. I think everyone here participates in so many things that makes it help. I'm looking forward to next year to some degree. I'm a little nervous about this piece, so getting up in front of you guys. But other than that, it's great.
All right.
Oh, who's
Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you for presenting. We appreciate it. And look, it's good to get to
Hold
know
on.
the next
Wait,
president. of the
Josh,
board.
we have time for a couple questions if there are any. Yes,
people have questions?
if there are any.
What's your favorite type of music?
Yeah, I do kind of like hip hop. I like pop, like the mainstream stuff. I used to really hate country, but it has grown on me, and now I do enjoy country. So
What cruise line does your family cruise on?
I think it was scenic. It was, yeah, it was really cool. We were on, oh man, I should know this. We're on one of the rivers in Europe. I can't think of it, but it was a really great trip. So we were supposed to go to Portugal last year, but due to COVID, it got canceled. So, yes. Go for it.
What's been your favorite volunteer project that you've been a part of?
Well, I like the sweater. I think iFeed was a lot of fun. I hope it comes back. I participated with Rotary, and then actually my work has participated in it, and it was fun. I feel like I can never name like service events when put on the spot, but mobile meals was fun. I don't know. I can't say there's been any like bad experiences that I've had with service, so that's good. Even the River Fest fencing kind of sucks, but you know, it's fun to like get to hang out with everyone. I don't really have a great answer, sorry.
Morgan.
What's your favorite either Sedona hike or Sedona activity?
Pink Jeep tours for sure. They go, I don't know how many people have been to Sedona, but they take you out in these like mega Jeeps on the Red Rock, and I think they're fun. I've done them multiple times and I still enjoy them every time. We took the kids on it when we went out, and it was really fun to experience it with them and just see their like excitement and kind of fear with some of it. But that would be one of my favorite activities. Hikes. I did Devil's Bridge once, and that was pretty peaceful.
This is the last question.
Do you want to remind everybody when your presidential term starts?
Sure. So I start as president July 1st, and then you will be done with me to June 30th of 2023. So, and then James, I don't know where James went. Thank you. Sorry, the post is there. James will be following me. So, all right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ashley. And next up, we have Neil. So come on down, Neil, and let's hear about you.
For those who don't know me, my name's Neil Weiser, and I just joined Rotary here at the end of June. So I'm originally from La Crescent, Minnesota. I was born here in Gunderson and just grew up in La Crescent, and then just graduated high school here in this area. Love the area, the Bluff region, which Driftless region is amazing. These are all these photos on here I've taken. That photo on the left is when up on Northridge. If you have the opportunity, drive up there. It's beautiful, especially in the morning when clouds go between both bluffs and you see the sunrise. It's pretty spectacular. So for my family, so on the left, going left to right, that's my twin brother, then my older brother, and my niece Adeline, my sister-in-law Hannah, my mom Andrea, my grandma Nona, and my dad Jeff. So my niece just turned 1 year old on February 12th. It's pretty cool. I have to admit that it's very fun being around her. I can't wait to spoil her. I'm gonna be the cool uncle for sure. And then Tom, he's currently living in Boulder, Colorado. He's getting his PhD in biochemistry. So hopefully he comes back around. I miss him, so it'd be nice. One thing that's kind of unique is that I was actually born on July 11th before midnight, but my birth certificate does say July 12th. Tom was born at 2 o'clock in the morning on July 12th. So we technically should be on different days as twins. It's kind of fun. I think he did it for its easier paperwork, less insurance reasons. The doctor, my dad said the doctor was just kind of think around, clean it up, and then he'd look at his watch, clean up, and he's like, oh, we'll call it 12:05. So that was nice. So I grew up, and as I said, over in La Crescent, but I went to school at St. Peter's Catholic School in Holcomb, Minnesota there. And I went there from kindergarten through 8th grade. Then after that, I went to La Crescent High School, graduated in 2014, and then I went to college at UW Stout. I went there as a construction major, and then going into my junior year, I declared another major, real estate property management, and then I graduated in 2019, May of 2019. During my time at Stout, I did a little study abroad. It was with a whole bunch of education majors. I was knocking off some general eds. It was a great experience. I was actually able to teach in schools over in Scotland. It was a great experience, and I would do it all over again. And then I also did participated in a lot of student organizations. The SLC is Sigma Lambda Chi. It's a construction honor society. Then Student Construction Association, Sustainable Construction Organization, IREM, which is Institute of Real Estate Property Management. I was also on the Ducks Unlimited Club too there as well, and the snowboard ski team. So I'm mainly all these organizations. I helped out on the board a little bit once in a while. So on to my hobbies. So I really enjoy hunting and I love being outdoors. The buck in that photo was the biggest buck I got, scored 148.5. Pretty proud of it. And then the top corner there is my buddies and I duck hunting. I just started about 2 years ago. I absolutely love it. It's a great time. If you guys want to go, I will bring you with me. You will guys will get hooked. It's a great time. And then I also really enjoy music. I love live music no matter what. I listen to everything from indie to pop to country to folk to, it doesn't matter. That bottom corner is a Louis the Child concert at Red Rocks. I went to see him this summer. It was phenomenal. And then I also, I would have to say my favorite genre of music is indie music though. I really like that alternative style. And then the bottom photo is of Big Sky in Montana there. And I've been to Jackson Hole, Big Sky, Copper, Breck, Solitude, few different spots. It's phenomenal. And then I also really enjoy traveling too. Once I graduated, I traveled for about a month over in Europe. I visited Scotland again, Ireland, London, Paris, Annecy, France, and Brussels and Amsterdam. The one on the top left is Camden Market in London. They have a bunch of these smaller markets. And then the middle one is Annecy, France, and the other one is Ireland. Then I also love hiking. So this was a 4-pass loop I did with my twin brother. This was the first trip, or this was actually the first birthday that my twin brother and I ever spent together, just him and I. So this was cool. We got to hike through the wilderness for 3 days, camp out there. This is the 4-pass loop in Colorado. It was phenomenal weather. And then I also enjoy doing a little woodworking once in a while. These are mainly just signs, but I collect stickers of where I go. Every place I go, I like to grab stickers. And I used to always put them on my mini fridge. And I was like, okay, what happens when this fridge fails? And it actually did happen to me, but my twin brother had the same exact fridge. So I took off my door and put it on his fridge. And so we're back in business. But now I figured out, I just thought of this board and kept it hanging on the wall. So now I keep adding my stickers to that. And then that top one is, I made that for that concert I attended at Red Rocks for Louis the Child. I made the other one, Explore the Unknown. And then the one to the far right there is for my niece. I gave that to her for her Christmas gift. So hopefully she keeps that hanging on her wall for the rest of her life. And then the main reason for this presentation is for why I joined Rotary. I always love giving back, and I always wanted to be part of something bigger than myself and really make an impact in the community. And so when I graduated college, I moved back down here, started work at Weezer Brothers, kind of forgot about that. And I always wanted to get involved, and I kind of asked my dad, I'm like, do you have any good volunteer organizations? And he said, well, there's Rotary. So I actually reached out to Rotary Downtown Club, and they're like, well, we meet every week at noon for an hour. I said, well, I can't take an hour for lunch every single week, once a week. So then they referred me to Rotary After Hours, and what a blessing. It is phenomenal. This group is amazing and full of very good, dedicated people. And I cherish this time very much. And it's a way to give back to the community with a core group of people and make a difference. And that's what mainly I was looking for. I wanted to give back to multiple different organizations. I didn't want to keep on going back doing the same thing. And that's one of the things that's really nice about Rotary After Hours. You get a volunteer from cleaning up the bluffs, cleaning up highways, to doing the iFeed, to do Rotary for the Ugly Sweater 5K. It's just, you have such an opportunity to help out community in many ways. And that's why I really joined Rotary After Hours, and I really love it. Questions? Eric?
Through all your mountain adventures, whether it's on a snowboard or hiking, did you ever have any like dangerous, sketchy like things? Because I know.
No, I mean, one time I thought I was gonna get headbutted by a ram, a mountain sheep. We're in Zion National Park and we just went up all these zigzags. And we're like on our knees, breathing really heavily, and all I look up and here's this mountain goat like 5 yards from us staring right at us on a rock face like this. And I was like, oh God. And we like flinched and the thing bolted and we took off running and then we turned back and it's just sitting there staring at us. That was pretty fun. Nathan? So I helped out with mathematics, science class, and then I also did tech ed. So I helped with the woods. It's interesting over there. They don't let you use any power tools. It's all chisels, mallets, and it's crazy. I was like, what do you guys do when you guys get out in the field? You have power tools, right? So they don't use all hand saws. It's interesting, yeah.
You had a picture of a tree on your first slide?
Yeah, that was me getting bored in the tree stand while deer hunting. I was like, oh, this might be kind of cool. I like to take photos, so anything of nature, and I don't necessarily like to take photos of myself. I don't like being in them. I like taking of nature, so.
You taking duck hunting this year?
Yes, for sure. Yeah. We go very often. I hunt, luckily I hunt with a lot of good guys. I've only been doing it for a couple of years, but we shoot around, well, it depends. We shoot around 4 ducks a person, so 1 under our limit.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
What time do you drop in the water when you duck hunt?
Oh, I've been out in the water at 3 o'clock in the morning.
My brother.
Yeah. Sometimes it's, get out there an hour before daylight, so. No, you talk the whole entire time. Yeah, yeah, you're with the, that's what's so fun. You're so social. You don't have to be still. You can move a little bit, you can talk. And it's a lot of fun.
Do you have a favorite Rotary service event?
I'd have to say the mobile meals was really fun, and I thought the Boys and Girls Club one was very fun too. I thought that was a good event. Ugly Sweater 5K is actually really fun. Don't let these guys scare you. It's a little planning, but it's fun. I like it. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Neil. And up next, we have the one and only Stephanie Doyle. Come on down.
I did not practice this, so brace yourselves. All right, so as you guys probably know, my name is Stephanie Doyle. I'm currently secretary-elect, so next year I'll be secretary. That's Kira. You'll hear more about her later. Am I supposed to be doing the clicker? All right, so first thing is my best buddies. So that starts out with my family. So I was born in La Crosse, grew up in Alaska, still live in Alaska. Went to Aquinas, and then you'll hear a little bit about my later education after that. But so the top left is me as a youngster. You guys probably know my sister Caitlin, who's over there. And then my mom, Gloria, is also here today. And then my dad, who I don't think he was invited, but. And then after that is our most recent family vacation. So that's deep sea fishing in St. Thomas. So some of you might have seen this picture on Facebook. If you can't see well enough, I'm holding half a fish. That was one of the first fish I caught on this fishing expedition. It like felt pretty heavy, and then all of a sudden the weight really lessened up, and I was like, oh shoot, it got off because I had missed a few. But the guy's like, no, keep reeling it in, and it turned out to be half a fish. So he thinks either a barracuda or a shark got it. And then my dad, Katie, and Justin, I think all caught some mahi-mahi. Mom just wanted to absorb the experience and didn't feel like she needed fish. And then you guys probably know Justin Garvey, that's Katie's boyfriend, who is also part of our family now, I would say. And then on the bottom left are some of my best friends from school. You'll also hear a little bit about that later. We've done a couple trips together, so that is in Albuquerque.
And then the next photo is my boyfriend Brian, who is also here tonight. He's over there. And we've done a few adventures together as well. And so, yeah, a lot of things in life really revolve around my family. So they're very important to me. And then the next best thing in my life is my furry friends. Again, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, this is between my adventures and my furry friends. This is most of what I post and what I do in life. So top left, actually we'll start with bottom right. So that's Maggie, which is Mama Dog, or Nutmeg is her full name. She's had two litters of puppies. So her most recent litter of puppies was born December 2020. And we kept one of those puppies, and that's Kira, who was in that first photo. And then the top left is Kira on the left and Maggie on the right. If you've met Kira, you'll know that she is crazy, but she is my sweet little baby child. They're both very special to me. And then my family raises alpacas, so they're featured in some of the other photos. I can answer any alpaca questions that you may have at any time, but in brief, they are way better than llamas. They're cuter, they're fuzzier, they're smaller. And my favorite time of year is baby season. You'll see in the top right, snuggling one of the babies. I'll just spend like hours hanging out with them in the summer. They're a really good time. Then that brings us to one of the most important things in my life, which is my cat, Henry. He's featured in those two photos. I would have to say, similar to what Ashley said about her dog, I would say that he is the love of my life as well. So he was supposed to be an outside cat. Katie and I grew up with a cat that lived for 17 years. After that, Dad said, no more cats. And then I moved back home after college, and since I was under that roof, Dad said, yep, no more cats. But then somehow someone that my mom worked with had a litter of kittens born in like their dog cage, needed to find homes. So we got Henry. He was supposed to be another barn cat because we have a barn cat who's lived there for 14 years. And he lived up above a shed in kind of a storage space area, but then he kept escaping and I loved him too much. And so Mom and I convinced him to be a house cat. And then also not pictured as Mom's cat. So once I went away to grad school, Mom still needed someone to spend time with. So now we have two cats. And also, again, if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you'll see that I do a lot of adventures. I did not include as many pictures of adventures as Neil did, but I've traveled many places that started out with the love of traveling with my family. First, we would do Caribbean vacations and do snorkeling and stuff. And sometimes my sister and I would go to the kids club. Otherwise, we'd be stuck back home with grandma while they went scuba diving. But then when I was 12, which is the earliest age you can get certified to scuba dive, I got certified to scuba dive. I didn't have any good scuba pictures, so Katie's probably gonna hate me that I included that picture. But that's right after one of our dives. So that's a really fun activity that we do as a whole family. So we've traveled to several places in the Caribbean. And then I've also done several hiking adventures. So on the bottom in the middle is somewhere in Banff, I think, somewhere in Canada for sure. So I've been to Canada and a few parks there. I've been to Yellowstone, Grand Tetons, Glacier. Upper left is me and some of my friends. That's in Utah. We also, on our trip, went to Colorado, Lake Tahoe, the Bighorns in Wyoming. Arches in Utah, that's outside of Salt Lake City, Colorado, etc. And then the bottom left, I did a solo trip to Washington. So that's in the Cascades. And then I most recently went to California actually a couple times in the last few months. Top right is when I went to the Palm Springs area. That is at Joshua Tree. Also did some other hiking. And then one of my other favorite adventures growing up was horseback riding. That is not a recent picture, but that's me and my horse, Jacob, who passed away when I was 13. But horseback riding has always been one of my loves as well. What next? So yeah, like I said, I went to Aquinas and then I went to UW-Madison for undergrad. I majored in biology and French. My second semester of sophomore year, Katie and I also studied abroad in southern France. And while we were in Europe, we traveled to, I went to 9 countries, she went to 10 countries. So we went to Malta, Croatia, France, obviously, England, Ireland, and Amsterdam, in Netherlands, Belgium, etc. And then I took 2 years off after that. I worked as an EMT in the Gunderson Emergency Department, as well as at Freight House. And then I went to grad school. I got my Master of Physician Assistant Studies, also at UW-Madison. So now I work as a PA. So that's me. So I work half in La Crosse and half in Onalaska urgent care and emergency services. I do really like that job, but it's been kind of a stressful time with COVID. For a while it was super busy and I was spending a lot of time finishing my charts and stuff after kind of seeing patients frequently. But I was thinking about it this weekend, like when I'm actually in the room with patients, as long as they're not getting super long-winded and you know, repetitive, I really do like listening to people's stories and finding a way to help them. And so I do feel like it is a good job for me, but it can be taxing at times. And, you know, going in with kind of the tenets of Rotary, I feel like this job fits it. Not only like providing medical care, but also kind of bringing in all the aspects of life, because those all are important to kind of personal and mental and emotional health. So it's a good time. So kind of my lead up to Rotary, I've always, like, especially in high school and college, been interested in service. So a couple things I've done in terms of service. I'll start with the top right, actually. One of my favorite kind of atypical ways of service is several times, I think it's mostly just been my dad and I don't know if Katie and Mom have done it, but we've taken our alpacas to nursing homes. And then we also have a lot of people come to our farm to meet the alpacas. And especially bringing them to nursing homes is super fun because it's these people who may or may not have family in town, you know, may or may not have a lot of activities they do. But seeing these alpacas walk into their, you know, dining space or whatever, and just seeing them light up is so sweet. And, you know, I've grown up with the alpacas for many years, but for a lot of people, it's such a cool experience to be able to be like hands-on with these awesome creatures. And then one of the cool service things I've done, top left, that's actually at an orphanage in Haiti, but the reason I went to Haiti was when I was an EMT to help with providing medical care, because it was 5 years after their major earthquake, but things were still pretty messy. And the organization is kind of meant to help the Haitian people become self-sustainable. So we kind of help out, but also provide some training and stuff. And they were training me, they knew a lot more than I did, but I really liked how it was kind of about sustainability. And then bottom right is after my first year of PA school, I went to Belize, and those are some, one of them is a classmate and the rest of them are nurse practitioner students. So then how I got introduced to Rotary, probably first memories of Rotary would be Rotary Lights, and I did steal these directly from my sister's, her vocational. So some beautiful pictures of early days Rotary Lights. I would have to say, one of my favorite parts of Rotary Lights is definitely the reindeer. Although I swear they used to have more than 2 reindeer at a time. I don't know what happened. And then speaking of Christmas time Rotary, so my mom growing up was in the downtown Rotary Club, and Katie and I would perform at their Christmas time program and show off our immense talents. So first it involved reading the book Peef. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Peef. But then once we were a little older, we choreographed a dance to Silver Bells that we performed. And to this day, I know Marissa's, like, Dean Dickinson talks about it all the time. Like, to this day, people still bring up, like, I've gone to Mom's Rotary things and they're like, oh, I remember you performing. So that will always live on in perpetuity. So yeah, that was kind of the first start with Rotary. And then really why I ended up joining Rotary, I saw that my mom had lots of opportunities doing it, and then Katie joined Rotary I started doing some service opportunities with her and, realized that you can meet a lot of cool people and do a lot of cool things. So one of my favorite parts of Rotary has been the service. So this is just a sampling of the service things I've done, but highway cleanup, picks and forest stuff, buying clothes around Christmas time, and then one of my favorites that I helped organize, which was Horse Sense. Rotary has opened a lot of opportunities. So I don't know if you guys know, but the project didn't get chosen for the Shark Tank, but I was able through Rotary Works to get a bit of a check for the Horse Sense, which provides adaptive riding for folks with disabilities and mental health issues and such. And then we've done a couple trips with a group of people. So in that one, it's me, Bill, Josh, and Lisa. That was from our trip to the Boundary Waters paddling and portaging. So there's cool opportunities that way if you like the outdoors. And then bottom right is one of the socials that was at El Maro. And then a few times done the August Winter 5K. And then you may be wondering why there's a picture of my mom and a kangaroo. But one of the things that I was most excited about in terms of joining Rotary is the possibility of doing a friendship exchange, which it sounds like might still be in the works. So my mom got to go to Australia for 3 weeks a few years ago, and then her friends from Australia came here. And so that really inspired me to want to do something similar myself. That's it. Any questions for me? Yes.
What's the best hiking?
I knew someone was going to ask me that. That is a good question. Yeah, definitely mountains are my favorite. I think just overall the trip I did this summer was really cool. I did it by myself, and so I just kind of did what I wanted when I wanted. And probably one of my favorite hikes was, I think it was like the Skyline Trail, so it's kind of right at the base of Mount Rainier. That was probably one of my favorites. But there's so much of them. I also did a 14er in Colorado, so those are cool. There's mountain goats, which are awesome. But I think also Canada is probably one of my favorite places too. But there were forest fires when I was there, so need to visit that one again. Another question.
I don't have a question, but if I recall, the very first meeting you attended as a guest was, for those of you that remember Keith's last meeting,
Yes.
there was a job experience.
Yes.
And I think Galen too, and you guys came back, so kudos to you.
Yeah, I was like, are they all like this?
So do you raise alpacas just for going to nursing homes, or do they serve another purpose?
So the story of why we got alpacas is my parents bought a very nice piece of land. It's very beautiful if you've ever been there. And they wanted to get some sort of animal that they could raise that we wouldn't have to butcher. And they read an article in the electrical co-op magazine or something about these people who raised alpacas in Ontario, Wisconsin. And so we went out and we met them, and we ended up getting alpacas, and now they're basically just lawn ornaments, but you can sell them, you can sell their fiber or fleece. We used to show them and stuff and do both where it's like judged on their fleece and their conformation, and also Katie and I would do like obstacle class and stuff too. So they're very versatile animals. But yeah, now basically they're just for fun.
So do you shave them? Like,
Yep, we share them once a year. If anybody wants to help out, it's usually around Memorial Day weekend.
how many do you have?
12? Yeah, I think 12. They're cool. And we are in the works trying to figure out a fundraiser for polio that involves making pancakes as well as meeting alpacas. So stay tuned for that.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Any other questions? James.
How many miles did you run this morning?
Almost 10. With my dogs. So one of the things that keeps me exercising a lot is my extremely energetic dogs that need exercise. So, yes.
Why didn't you include your
Oh, that's right, okay. So another important aspect of my family are my two nieces, Matilda and Winifred, who are Katie and Justin's two Vizsla dogs. You can follow them on Instagram, see me afterwards, find the link. They are also very special, but I was trying to limit my pictures. They look like little dinosaurs. Any other questions? No. Okay, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Steph, for sharing. And you know, we'll look for you to keep being involved in Rotary and keep leading things. So it's great to see so many great things from Steph, from Neil, from Ashley. We have so many great members, and for our guests who've joined us tonight, hopefully this has been good, and hopefully you are interested in coming back in the future. So our next meeting is going to be March 22nd. We're going to have Rotary Lights presentation. So Aaron Miller is actually going to lead that meeting in person. So thank you very much, Aaron. And we'll have quite a few guests coming to the meeting because we'll be presenting checks from a lot of the money collected for Rotary Lights. So always an interesting meeting, especially if you haven't gone before. Lisa, what?
Josh, hold on.
Josh,
Oh, yes.
my 7-year-old daughter Sophia handed me an announcement today of the spring concert at Southern Bluffs, which is at 6 o'clock on the 22nd, and I have to be there. But I'll touch base with you by email tomorrow. I'm gonna help out find somebody and help get it situated. I have to be there.
All right, no worries. We'll figure it out. So thank you. Are there any other last minute announcements before we adjourn? All right. So in that case, let's move to the 5-way test. I believe it's, oh, sorry, I take that back. It is International Women's Day. So Lady Rotarians, please assemble after the meeting to take a picture for our PI team and social media. So I believe Marissa will be coordinating taking a picture. So we appreciate all of our women in the club. So and we're appreciative that Rotary is diverse and all that. So next. 5-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun? All right. And then Lisa, would you mind ringing the bell for me again? All right. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. It was good to see you all virtually. All right.